European Council on Brexit. First, I invite Donald Tusk, the President of the European Council, to take the floor.
Thank you, Preben. Good evening. As you know, we devoted today's European Council meeting to Brexit. Prime Minister May repeated her request to extend the Article 50 period until the 30th of June and to approve the so-called Strasbourg Agreement. During the discussion among the EU 27, the leaders approached these requests in a positive spirit. The European Council decided to approve the Strasbourg Agreement. As regards the extension, our decisions envisage two scenarios. In the first scenario, that is, if the withdrawal agreement is passed by the House of Commons next week, the European Council agrees to an extension until the 22nd of May. In the second scenario, that is, if the withdrawal agreement is not approved by the House of Commons next week, the European Council agrees to an extension until the 12th of April, while expecting the UK to indicate a way forward. What this means in practice is that until that date, all options will remain open, and the cliff edge date will be delayed. The UK government will still have a choice of a deal, no deal, a long extension, or revoking Article 50. The 12th of April is a key date in terms of the UK deciding whether to hold European Parliament elections. If it has now decided to do so by then, the option of a long extension will automatically become impossible. As you know, in accordance with the treaties, any extension must be decided unanimously by the EU 27, in agreement with the member state concerned. This is why I met Prime Minister May several times tonight, to make sure that the UK accepts the extension scenarios, and I am pleased to confirm that we have reached an agreement on this. Thank you.
Thank you. And now the President of the European Commission, Jean-Claude Juncker.
Ladies and gentlemen, since that day of the referendum, the position of the 27 member states and the Commission has been united and unequivocal. We have worked tirelessly to negotiate the withdrawal agreement. We have done everything we could to help get it over the finishing line. We were asked for clarifications in December. We gave them. We were asked for assurances in January. We gave them. I was asked for further reassurances last Monday in Strasbourg, notably with regard to the backstop. I gave them. And so I have to welcome that today the 27 leaders endorsed the legally binding clarification and assurances that Prime Minister May and I agreed in Strasbourg. This closes and completes the full package. There is no more than we can have. We are hopeful that the agreement will be adopted by the House of Commons. Mesdames et Messieurs, quoi qu'il arrive, nous sommes prêts pour toutes les éventualités, y compris l'absence d'un accord sur le Brexit.
Of an Brexit, and so-called
nous
no
nous y sommes
deal.
préparés
We're ready,
depuis 2017.
and we've
Qu'un
been
gouverner,
ready since
c'est prévoir. Enfin, on le dit
2017.
toujours, mais cette fois-ci, c'était vrai. Les mesures d'urgence sont en place.
Emergency
Et nos
measures
préparations
are in place,
continuent.
and we're
Nous avons
continuing to
adopté 19
prepare.
propositions
We
législatives
adopted
pour
19
faire face
legislative
aux problèmes majeurs
proposals
qui
to
créeraient un
tackle
Brexit dur,
the main
notamment en ce qui
problems a
concerne les
hard
citoyens,
Brexit would
les
create,
connexions aériennes et
particularly
routières
on
et le
air
secteur
and
de la
road
pêche.
links
Les
and
équipes de la Commission se sont rendues
plus
dans toutes les
fishing.
capitales pour
Our
discuter
commissioners have been
des
to all
préparations
capitals
nationales
to discuss
et des
national
plans d'urgence.
preparations and emergency
Meine Damen und
plans.
Herren,
Ladies and
wir
gentlemen,
sind am Ende einer langen Strecke
this has been a long
angekommen.
haul,
Aber wir müssen jetzt den Blick in die Zukunft richten.
but we've got to look
Die Uhr
forward
tickt
now.
nicht nur beim Brexit. Die Uhr tickt auch
The
in anderen
clock is
Räumen. Wir
ticking
können
not
nicht warten,
only for
bis
Brexit,
Brexit vorbei
but for
ist, die
other
Dinge zu liefern,
things too.
die wir den
We've
Europäern
got to
versprochen.
deliver things for the European
321
citizens.
Gesetzesvorschläge wurden seit Amtsantritt dieser Kommission vom Europäischen
Legislative
Parlament und vom Rat
proposals have
angenommen.
gone through Parliament
Dieses
and
Tempo müssen
Council
wir jetzt bis
since
zur
we
Europawahl
started in this
durchhalten.
Commission. We've got to
Morgen
move
besprechen wir
forward.
unsere Beziehungen
Tomorrow we'll be
zu
talking
China,
about our
wir
relations
sprechen
with China.
Industriepolitik,
We'll be talking
der
about
Europäischen
industrial
Union
policy.
und unsere
And we'll be
Wettbewerbsfähigkeit.
talking about our
Dies sind
competitiveness.
wegweisende Themen
These
für die
are
europäische
important,
Zukunft
essential things
und für
for
die sind wir zuständig. Vielen Dank.
Europeans, and this is what
Thank you
our
very
main
much.
job
I now
is.
open the floor for a few questions. So we start right here, please.
Hello, it's James Chris from the Daily Telegraph. It's a question for both presidents, please. How long is a long extension, please?
Do you have an idea?
Until the very end.
Please.
Gavin Lee at the BBC. A question again for both presidents. First of all, can you describe the atmosphere in the room? My understanding is that Theresa May was actually prepared, and surprisingly to some, for no deal if that becomes a scenario, almost backing away to say if it is no deal, that's where it goes. And also, do you feel that there's a big risk of just kicking the can down the road now?
The atmosphere was much better than I expected, and for sure better than, for example, in December. No, not only because of the weather, but also because of the mood. But frankly speaking, it's our mood is not the most important thing here. Our discussion was really, really constructive, and I can only reconfirm that what I felt not only today but also before, it's goodwill and determination. I know that all of us are aware how objectively how difficult the situation is, and the fact that we are still able to find not the final solution, of course, not, but the way to at least to ease the process for both sides. I think it was very, very tangible and visible. I'm really satisfied, especially that we have still open so many options, and it means that you know what is my personal view on this, and I'm really satisfied, and I think it's a good sign because, frankly speaking, I was really sad before our meeting, and now I am much more optimistic.
Also die Stimmung war gut.
The atmosphere was
Ich habe
good.
ins hohe Alter warten müssen, um festzustellen, wie lange mein Geduldsfaden ist.
And, well, we have yet to see quite what the limits of our
We'll take
patience
one
are.
last question. Yes, the lady.
Catherine Fiore, EU reporter. President Tusk, you said a while ago that there was a special place in hell for those who promoted Brexit without a plan. Well, withdrawal agreement is part of a plan. If British MPs don't vote for it next week, Do you think that special place in hell should be enlarged to include more members of the House of Commons? And since May's speech last night, more than 2 million people have signed a petition to support the revocation of Article 50. Would you welcome this? Thank you.
According to our Pope, the hell is still empty, you know, and it means that that's a lot of space as well.
I think this is the right moment to conclude the press conference. Thank you very much.
Don't go to hell.